Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. I am so excited to show you the spring craft that I have come up with today because I'm telling you, this has come out, this has to be one of my very most favorite crafts that I have done. So the backstory of that is I don't know. For some reason, I was just so tired, and I went to craft, and I sat at the table, and I couldn't. I just kind of sat there and head in hand, and no motivation, and it wasn't that I was depressed. It wasn't just. It just seemed like everything was a struggle, and I was tired. I had worked a few extra hours, but you know, I love my job, and so I wasn't really, you know, all that concerned about that. And you know, but I'm not 21 anymore either, and these things become abundantly clear in moments like that, as you know. Some people can relate to that. Anyway, but I just physically and kind of emotionally was tired. And a few things weighing on my mind. And, you know, what kept playing in my head and was just give it to God and let Him have it. We are not personally built to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We are not built to carry the things that we sometimes put upon ourselves. But we do. It's human nature, and we just try to take that all on ourselves, and instead of just giving it to God and realize that He's the one that carries those burdens for us. And so I just kind of, you know, had to give it to God and leave it alone. And I sat there at the table, and my husband was like, you know, I don't know why you're feeling guilty for not doing something. This is something that you do when you love to do it. And if you work on it now, and you just don't go rest, you're probably just going to mess it up. You're just going to mess it up, or it's not going to turn out the way that you like it. So why don't you just go rest, and tomorrow, when you're fresh and you have a different perspective, everything will probably look a little bit differently. And so I got up the next morning, and things were clear, and I had done my devotions, and things were just a lot different. And I sat down at the table, and I started crafting this craft, and I'm telling you what, it came out so cute, and I am so excited to share it with you because I think it's one of the most adorable things that I've ever done. It is definitely the most cutest thing that I have done for spring. So why don't you just come craft with me? I picked up this tabletop decor at the Dollar Tree. They came out with quite a few pieces of farmhouse decor a couple of months back, and I had picked this up. I thought it was absolutely adorable. I'm not farmhouse, but I do like the black and white check, and I thought it had real possibilities, and I had kind of just tucked this back until the inspiration of what to do with it kind of came to me. I don't decorate with farmhouse. I do love black and white gingham, and I think that it's seasonal. I think it goes with a lot of different types of decor, and if you like kind of shabby chic or French country, and even rustic, the black and white gingham just goes with a lot of different types of things. Even though it's associated a lot with farmhouse, it goes with a lot of different things. So I had picked that up. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, so I just kind of tucked it back. I knew I wanted to craft with it, even though it would look cute on a tier tray or just a standalone piece. So I had initially thought that I was going to just make this wall hanging, and then I have picked up several of these little decor wooden or MDF houses at the Dollar Tree, and it occurred to me that this might be a cute little standing tabletop decor piece. I sanded those little MDF houses to make them look a little bit rustic with a sanding block that I keep in my stash that I picked up at the Harbor Freight. I glued everything together with these mini hot wood sticks, mini hot glue wood sticks that I had picked up at Walmart, and I absolutely love these mini hot glue sticks. They're for a high temp glue gun, and I did not feel the need to do the wood glue, hot glue, wood glue, hot glue dance that I have done on a lot of projects, because this held together so well and it was so good and secure. And I just absolutely love these hot glue wood sticks. So anyway, I glued everything together and made this into a tabletop decor. I had picked up the wall hanging at the Dollar Tree also, and then the 3 little wood tabletop decor houses. And I got out some craft sticks and some mini sticks, and I get those in a package at Walmart. And I decided to cut them. I think I took 6 out of 1 stick, and I cut them with my little bandage scissors, and I just started cutting them down because I'm going to make kind of a little fence and a little picket fence, and off of the side of this little house. And so I like these little bandage scissors for just this kind of project. I keep them aside, and it doesn't tear up my scissors, but these bandage scissors are really they're just tough and they're very good. I did not worry about things being measured up or sanding because I wanted this to go kind of rough and tumble, and kind of, like it had just been put together, kind of topsy-turvy. So I kind of glued them onto the edge of the house, and then I took a little bit of the Waverly chalk paint, and I had dampened a paper towel, and I just kind of dabbed it into the little bottle of chalk paint, and with the wet paper towel, and just kind of dabbed over it because I wanted the different colors of wood to kind of come through. And I wanted the wood to come through, and I did kind of give it a little bit of a whitewash finish. So I didn't paint my little picket fence entirely. You can do it however you want, but some of the wood of the little decor houses have a little bit different woods and textures, and I kind of wanted to play off of that so that everything had a little bit different look and dimension, and so I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a white finish, but not exactly. So I cut just enough pieces to kind of make a little picket fence, and then I cut 2 pieces just to kind of form a little bit of an X onto the top, just to give it a little bit of kind of a little finish. And then I took some craft cubes that I keep in my stash that I buy at the Dollar Tree, and it was just the right size to kind of slip in there. I took 2, and I put some hot glue on them, and I just kind of slipped them through there and just kind of hot glued them onto the bottom to kind of give a little bit of a bottom, so that I would have something for my little flower box or my little garden to eventually have something to sit on. I didn't want things falling through. So those little craft cubes were just the right size to kind of hot glue and slip in there. So I just kind of did the same thing on the other side. I just kind of measured and made just a little bit of a little garden fence on either side, and then just cut my little detail and just kind of whitewashed my little fence. And I didn't want anything to be too exact because I just wanted that little rustic look onto my little fence. Gave my little fence an X, and then when I was finished, I just took my little craft cube and I just kind of tucked it in there because I thought this was just turning out so cute. And I'm a messy crafter, y'all. I don't really, I kind of drag stuff out because I never know what I'm going to need next. And if inspiration strikes me, then I don't want to get up and like chase after stuff. So anyway, I was just kind of sitting there looking at it, and I thought, the other two houses need something, and I don't know what it needs. So I got out some little tumbling tower blocks, and I just started kind of, with my little wet paper towel and my chalk paint, I just kind of started whitewashing those. And then I had my craft sticks, my skinny sticks, and I cut about 6 little pieces out of those with my bandage scissors, and I cut little pieces out and just kind of dabbed a little paint here and there on all of those, put a little piece of cardboard over my project so I didn't get anything, get paint all over what I was working on. So I just put a little piece of painting cardboard over the top, and I put about 12 little sticks, and I just kind of painted those and set those aside to dry. I had a little bit of this little twine, or this little berry garland. It's berry garland. There I go. Just randomly renaming stuff again, but it's just what I do. So I just wound it in a circle around my hand, and just kind of shaped it, and then I just hot glued it around that heart. You don't have to add the berry garland. I just thought it was lavender and springtime and beautiful. And then I put the Spanish moss in the middle of it to kind of look like a nest. You don't have to add that berry garland step, but I had it in my stash from Valentine's Day, and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. And so I just thought I would add it. But anyway, I covered that heart up to make it look like a nest, and then I hot glued some Spanish moss inside my little fence that I had created, and put just a little dab, and then just kind of took my scissors and made sure that my little Spanish moss was tucked inside my fence. I had decided, that I wanted something a little different, and added something to each side of my little house. So I had cut these little strips off of the skinny sticks, and so I took my hot glue wood sticks. That is so hard to say every stinking time, but anyway, I glued them to the side of this Jenga block on 3 sides, and I made sure that they were not uniform, that they were random and kind of tipsy-topsy-turvy and helter-skelter, and kind of the way you would just kind of find. I just kind of eyeballed where I wanted it to be, and I hot glued that to one of the houses. And then I hot glued some Spanish moss inside that Jenga blocks to look like a flower box. And then I had done 2. So once again, I made sure that nothing was even and nothing was straight. And I purposely just kind of did the skinny sticks just kind of random and helter-skelter and uneven. Did it on 3 sides to form like a little flower box. And then I kind of made a little X on this one because I wanted it to look a little bit different. And then I just kind of hot glued that onto the other little house. I put it in a different location so that my eye would travel. I had a wood slice left over that looked like a stick, and so I took my hobby table saw, and I cut that, and I hot glued that in the Spanish moss so that my bird would have a perch. If I see those wood slices at the Dollar Tree again, I am going to pick up a ton of them because I love those wood slices. I have used them oh so much. So I had picked up this bunch of greenery. It just says greenery. It was frosted. It was lavender. It was so beautiful and springtime and muted. And I just cut little pieces of greenery, and I cut some of the flowers apart, and I just tucked them down inside the window boxes, arranged them how I thought was it pleasing. And some of them I put flowers in, some of them I just put greenery in. And then I had this little chalkboard tag that I had picked up in a pack at the Dollar Tree, and I just had it in my stash. And I put for rent cheap, CHEEP, exclamation point. I hot glued a skinny craft stick to that, and I hot glued that over the hole that would have been in the hanging decor sign. And then I had, of course, this leftover berry garland, and I just had a little bit left, so I just kind of wound that around the for rent sign just for some extra depth and dimension and detail. And I thought it was just kind of, it just kind of added a little something to it. And I had some black and white gingham ribbon that I keep in my stash. Every time Dollar Tree has it, I buy it. And I just tied a shoelace bow, put that over the other little hole in the chimney where the hanging decor sign little rope would have been. And this turned out cute, and it's adorable. I love it. What do you think? They still have these decor pieces in the Crafter's Square aisle on the shelf. I seen them just the other day, so you can snag a few and make your own design. I still think that this would be an absolutely adorable wall hanging. It's just not where my inspiration led me, so you craft your own and you make your own design. So that's just kind of how life leads you. If you think that you're going one direction, you sometimes take a right or left hand turn and you end up in another place. And sometimes if you listen to the still small voice of the Lord, He will guide you in the direction that He wants you to go. And it may be a completely different direction than you think that you're actually going to go. And then it ends up being truly magnificent. You just have to listen sometimes. And it's really hard for me to just kind of sit still and take a breath and listen, because I like to talk, and I'm hard-headed, and I think that I know what I'm doing and where I'm going and what it's all about. And sometimes I don't like to admit that, you know, I don't. And so it's kind of hard to just sit and listen and take some guidance. But you know, it's what we all have to do, is to listen to the small voice of the Lord. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Choose the all button so that you are notified, and give me a thumbs up so that YouTube knows to put my content out for other viewers, because I really want to grow this channel. You have a great week, and thank you for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.